Scaling your life insurance agency or you as an individual agent comes down to one simple method and tactic that I've noticed that the top producers and agency owners are doing. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what that is. My name is Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. In the past 3.5 years, we've helped 550 agents issue pay $40,000 a month. And on this channel, all I like to do is show you the principles, the tactics, the behaviors, and the strategies of those individuals, what they've done, and how they've accomplished it. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and let's hop right in the video. I think to start these off going forward, guys, I'm just going to go back to my website. Before we start, just for the people that don't know anything about me, this is our website. It's called Agent Lead Lab. The reason I bring that up is you can go here and just look at our numbers. You can scroll for days. You can add up the numbers if you want to. We have agents absolutely crushing it. We've been doing this for a while. And then also we have our training videos for up to date. We have, I think it's 260. We literally have like another 100 more videos coming within the next 2 or 3 weeks. We've interviewed a lot more people. So we are scaling and scaling pretty aggressively. So our goal is to be able to get everything set up and rolling. So I just wanted to go ahead and give that disclaimer. But here's the thing that I've realized, that the top, the top 1%, whatever you want to call it, the best in the game, however you want to say it. Let's just keep it super simple. What they're doing, they are not emotional. Okay. They have no emotion. Let me actually pause this real quick so it's not loading back. So they are not emotional. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is they make decisions based off of logic and numbers. Now, I've noticed that this is not just for life insurance. This is for business. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm a culprit of this myself. My mentor now has poured a lot into me in regards to learning how to track numbers. But it is like, when I tell you it helps you sleep better at night, it's the truth when you just can put the numbers down and understand that it all comes back to that. Now, I think on the previous episode, I looked up the law of averages, which basically states that over a period of time, and I'll pull it up again for those that didn't see it. So law of averages in sales. All right, here we go. So law of averages in sales dictates that over time, a consistent volume of activities, calls, emails, pitches will produce a predictable number of sales based on established conversion rates, often summarizes more equals more. It turns into a numbers game, where each rejection brings a sale closer to a yes, right? And this needs to be applied in sales, in business, and honestly in life, right? And what this means is if a salesperson knows that 1 in every 10 pitches results in a sale, they can expect to make 10 sales by delivering 100 pitches. Success is driven by increasing the number of prospects in the funnel, reducing the emotional impact of rejection. Okay, we're going to go into what I mean by this, right? Consistent wins, daily discipline outreach, 100 calls a day, outperforms relying on talent, as it allows the math to work in the seller's favor, right? The law acts as a psychological tool, reminding sellers that a string of no's will eventually be balanced out by a yes. All right. And that's how you figure out your conversion rates. You just increase your activity. You focus on the qualified leads and you ignore the short-term variance. All right. You don't get discouraged by bad days, bad moments. It doesn't matter because you know that there's another win coming by. This is highly effective in volume transactional sales. It's a little bit more complex and high stakes B2B sales, but we are a life insurance agent. So we are focused on high volume transactional, truthfully, sales where it's just cold calling and it's numbers. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because most people don't actually know these numbers. Now, I was brought up on a methodology by a great gentleman who I won't name drop, but when I was selling, that the first day in business, all right, let me give you this analogy. So the first day in business, here's what I was told, okay? Now, I don't know what other people think. This is what I was told. Grab your credit card, right? Go to the lead store. Spend $700 to $800 on agent leads. Here's the script. Memorize it. Show up tomorrow at 8 a.m. That's literally what they told me to do. And I was like, what? They were like, yeah, here's your credit card. We're going to hop on here. We're going to buy these leads together. You're going to buy them. After you buy them, they're going to be sent to you. I'm going to show you how to upload it to CSV. You're going to study the script, and then I'll see you tomorrow. That was my first day on a call with hundreds of agents that were just absolutely crushing it. And I was like, okay, this is fire. I've never seen anything like this. These dudes on here late night, you know what I mean? This like we were in person. And the reason why I bring that up is because you quickly understand that it was just a numbers game. They told me if I spent $800 on leads, right, here's what would happen. Okay. So my goal, they gave me the benchmark, was to book 15 appointments every Monday and Thursday. Monday, I'd book them for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, I'd book them for Friday and Saturday. And then they said, you have off on Sundays. That's what they told me. And I said, okay. They said, you're going to buy your leads on Sunday night. You're going to wake up and you're going to dial Monday all day long from 8 to really 8 when you're done. You're going to book 15 appointments. You're going to go run those on Tuesday and Wednesday. You're going to come back and do the same thing on Thursday, Friday. You're going to get 30 appointments. Okay. Of those 30 appointments, you're going to get, let's just say in worst case scenario, half of them to show, 15 show. Okay. That's kind of bad, but let's just go 15 show. And then of those 15, you're going to close about 8. Okay. So 8 apps written. And at the time, I think our average annual premium was like $1,500. So we do 8 times 1,500, $12K. Right? You're gonna do $12,000 a week. At that time, it was like the goal was really $15K, right? But anyways, you'd have $12,000 per week. And then if you do $12,000 a week and you do times 4, 12, 24, 36, 48, it'd be like 48 grand. Some people fall off, whatever. You should be left with the end of the month. So 48K AP written, right? And then you do everything else and you should be looking at depositing like 30K. That was like the game plan. That's how we were taught, right? And then you could structure those numbers to like 30 shows. So you book like 45 appointments, right? So you buy more leads. And it was like, okay, we'll just buy more leads to equate. And this was what I was brought up on. So even though, they weren't really telling me it's the law of averages, this was the metric. Now, here's what I've learned now. This was great. People don't even do this nonetheless, but this is what I've noticed. So then how do you grow? Well, you get more people to just keep doing this. If that person makes 30K and then I can get the next person to make 30K, that's 60K. And then like the next person makes 30K, that's 90K. And I get 4 people and I'm at 100K. So every 4 people, I'm going to basically add an extra $100,000 of annual premium to my business, issue paid premium to my business, right? I get my override, whatever. Okay. Now I do that over and over and over. And I just keep doing that over every 4 people. I got 100. And it's like, that's how it was then. That was almost 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago, actually. Now what I know, and I'm giving my clients, is like there's more numbers in between that. Granted, now this was in person, you take it virtual. So it's like, Trey, what should I be doing if you're referring to being emotional, right? And this is how I look at it. Here's what you should be tracking. I say should. What can I track? Say this. What can I track if I'm not being emotional? Okay. You can track this. Cost per lead. If it's fixed or adjusted, that would be like ad spend or like self-gen or running ads. Okay. CPL, cost per booked appointment. Okay. Cost per booked app. This is something that's in my control. That's skill. Okay. We're going to that. Next one is going to be cost to acquire a client or cost per acquisition. Okay. So after how many booked appointments do I get a sale? All right. So let's say it's whatever, right? So it's cost to acquire / cost per acquisition. Okay. This is also a skill. This is closing. All right. Then there's cost per sale or close per sale, right? It basically just means like, I say cost per sale, right? Or conversion per sale, or I don't know why it's not actually cost per sale. It's basically what you're trying to figure out is what are the things that the average AP per close. Okay, this is a skill. This is in value in building the why. See all these skills, okay? Next thing is cost per lead, cost per booked appointment, cost to acquire client, cost per scale. Conversion per sale. And the last thing is a return on investment. All right, that's really simple. Return on investment. Okay. Now, most people, when they buy leads, they're like, all this stuff's out of my control. Like, I can't. And I'm like, all right, take a step back. Here's the truth. You're looking at this right now. I've literally just showed you 3 things after the cost per lead that is 100% in your control. Okay. Do you want to know why these things are in your control and why you should be excited? Because this is the only thing. Honestly, these are really the only 3 metrics that actually matter. People fixate on this because they're like, I just need better leads. I just need better leads. No, you don't. Because if I just give you this, if it's fixed or adjusted, it's not truly in your control. Neither one of these are in your control. This is not in your control. This is not in your control. Yeah, you could say the quality of the lead. You could do a lot. You could say a lot of things. But dude, there's been people that work really bad old leads and have really good skill and are really good at closing and are really good at building value and closing the premium high. This is closing the deal, okay? This is value in building why and closing on that value. There is a unique difference. Now, emotional people get mad because they're like, yo, the leads. It's like, bro, this is the only thing that's truly not in your control. Like, you can't control whether or not somebody fills out an ad and they do want it, and then they tell you that they're not ready to talk. Like, you can't be mad. Now, you can work on your objectives, but you can't inherently be making, well, the leads suck. It's like, no, bro. Like, you can work on your skills to get that person to a booked appointment. Why does it go CBA, cost to acquire client, and cost per sale? Because here's the thing. The first step in the process after you buy the lead is you have to book the appointment or get the opportunity or the presentation. And this is cost per booked appointment. And by the way, it's just like, I know some people, cost per presentation. If you're a one-call close agent, then you fall into this realm as well. The cost per book call or cost per presentation, right? Or cost per whatever you want to call it, put an A, or CPC, cost per presentation. The thing that you look at is, this is something that's in my control. If somebody you call somebody and they give an objection, if you overcome it and get to present to them, you have created an opportunity. This is where it starts. This is the foundation. People get upset because they're like, well, it's like, dude, I can get somebody with old leads to get low, cost per booked appointment. Now, were their skill set to be able to close them is good? No, there's people that are better at setting up calls but aren't really good at closing. I got a guy that he's booking massive appointments. His closing rate is not really that great. If you have a 30% close rate, but you're getting in the life insurance space, but you're getting tons of opportunities, that means you have a skill deficiency in closing the deal. The beautiful thing about what I'm explaining to you is it's not emotional. People get so upset when they're not making the money or things aren't going their way. And even I have been convicted of this. When you just have to look at, what are the numbers? What are the numbers? These are the numbers. It's simple. It's like, okay, here's the skill. Okay, here's a skill. All right, and here's a skill. So now I say, okay, I can learn how to get in front of people to actually present. That's typically with like scripting, that's with intros, that's with framing, right? Then you get into closing. This is going to be in the value building and being able to actually just close them for something. Because there's a lot of agents that they're like, dude, my cost to acquire client is super low, but I'm still not making money. It's like, yeah, bro, because you're closing, but you don't understand how to do the last part, which is actually value in building why and closing on that value or that why. So what does that look like, Trey? That looks like I'm closing final expense deals, but I'm closing them for $80 a month or $60 a month or $50 a month. And I should be closing them I can be closing them for $120 a month, $150 a month. So yeah, on paper, I might have a $75 cost to acquire a client, which is like, dude, that's insane. But then if I'm only closing them for, $50 a month policies, like it's cool, but it could be way higher. Think about what my last one return on investment would be if I was closing them at a higher clip. That's how we like to explain it. So if you don't know those numbers, it doesn't matter. So you get super emotional about, well, these leads aren't working. No, brother. Like, here's the thing. I tell people this all the time on the channel. I sell leads. I'm a lead agency, not a lead vendor. We call ourselves lead agency. I'm a lead agency. So I actually sell leads to agents. Bro, it's never the leads. I literally have agents. I had an agent close a deal yesterday that's never ran mortgage protection. He used the script, the intro, and then he just did what he was good at. And he closed an age mortgage protection lead. Do you think that there's agents complaining right now to me about age mortgage protection lead? I have an agent in an agency that sent me a message last night that was like, I'm very disappointed with the leads because I feel like this was not what I was told. I'm like, brother, there's people literally in your Discord group writing in front of you the literal same exact lead. Is it the lead's fault or is it your fault? It's your fault. It's never the lead's fault. There's people closing on any lead anywhere, cold door knocking, in the rain. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. If you blame the lead, you're not taking responsibility, and then you're not going to grow. You're not even, and you are being emotional. That's the truth. Because if you were to take all the emotion, if you were just an absolute, there was no emotion in your body, and you just look, somebody said, okay, if I can't operate off emotion, how I feel like this wasn't good. I being distraught as a feeling. Like, oh my goodness, I'm distraught. Like, it's like, bro, relax. Here's the problem. It's like, well, nobody's picking up. I'm like, okay, well, maybe you're not working the leads properly. Maybe you don't have the right phone. Like, do you mean to tell me that this person just has some magic sauce? And I'm a betting man, and we do this. If I call his leads, I can book a freaking appointment. And I'm like, bro, I'm not about to waste my time because I know it works because I know other people are doing it. So like, bro, just shut up and like you have to do what you need to do and get better. It's just that simple. It's not worth like being upset, but don't blame me. Like, if it's working for somebody else, it should work for you. It's pretty simple. And it's not even like if it's working for somebody else. These people are in your agency writing business. Like, they're literally in your same Discord group. You're probably on Zoom with them, but you're coming to me complaining. It's like, bro, stop. It's just stop it, bro. That you don't sound like, be an adult and just take accountability and say, I need to work on this because there's something in there. If people pick up the phone, they know what it is. If you don't do your job, that's your fault. That's just like me saying I have leads, I have agents that want leads, but because they're not being closed, they're bad leads. Come on, bro. What does that even mean? Oh yeah, well, they're like, for example, we launched something, we were trying something, and a lot of these people that we have coming through the funnel, they're not as ready to take action because we didn't frame them that way. But if I'm like, yo, these leads suck, these leads don't suck. They're still really good. Like, we literally, like, our team just closed a pretty decent amount yesterday off of the same leads. And what do you think that it was? Because no, it was because we don't complain. We don't make excuses. Like, nobody in my organization will ever make an excuse. We don't make excuses. No excuses, no explanations. No excuses, no explanations. Like, you either get it done, you get it done. It has to work or it has to work. That's a mindset thing. I recorded that video. That's the number one like hack. That's the number one, like, whatever you want to call it. This is actually the thing that you have to operate by. You have to remove emotion, operate on logic. It's very simple. Remove emotion, operate on logic. Right. So when you look at it, your cost per booked appointment is a skill thing. Your cost to acquire a client is also a skill thing. How do you know how to close deals? Do you know how to overcome the social security number and make sure you get banking? That is a skill. That is a skill. That has nothing to do with anything else than skills. Nothing to do with the lead. Oh, this person didn't want to do. That's a skill thing, bro. If you're getting an old lead from 2 years ago to close, that, you mean to tell me that that lead's better than this? Like, no, brother. It's a skill problem. Most of this, like, dude, there's nothing in sales that is a lead problem. Like, genuinely, I'm saying that honestly. Yes, there are things that can make it better, but bro, like, even I tell people this all the time. Even if you give old leads to somebody, if they pick up the phone. Now, if people never pick up the phone genuinely, or like all the numbers are bad, like, obviously that's a lead issue. But bro, people are picking up the phone and they know, they like are like, yeah, that's me. Like, brother, you have to close it. Now, here's the thing. The reason why I say it's never really the leads, even though it can be in certain situations, but when you understand, I recorded this yesterday, what the client sees, or if you can talk to the company you're buying leads from and they can give you any sort of inkling of like this client's customer journey, and they can tell you how to frame the initial call, you're good. Like, it's like, if you buy leads from somebody and they don't give you an intro to the lead, then like, okay, I understand. But after the intro, it's all skill. Because all it is figuring out, okay, how old are these leads? Where'd they come from? If I have any relative understanding, I don't need to mention it, but I need to understand the demographic of that platform and who they are. and what they, what their typical behaviors are. The easier I know that, the better things are. You know what I mean? So that's how you look at, like, these are just skills. These are skills. Like, you can't control the cost of the cost per lead. It's not like you can be like, yo, I want to get it low. Like, yeah, you can adjust things, but you can't actually innately like guarantee that. But you can work on your skill to do that. Now, if you hire somebody to run your ads, obviously they're more skilled, but I'm talking about the cost per lead typically is going to be fixed, or it's going to be adjusted but fluctuate. But it's not like you're actually the one on the ads, like moving people around, like pulling, like, hey, dude, watch this. Like, it doesn't work like that. So if it fits me, I'm always going to focus on what are the skills that I need to acquire. Like, what are the innate skills that I need to acquire? Now, some leads make it easier, some leads make it more difficult. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if the person picks up the phone and know what it is, it's on you to close them. I don't care what anybody says. I will live and die by that. It is on you to figure out a way to close them. Now, you can make your journey easier or more difficult by getting a fresher lead, a better lead but it's saving time. It's more time to have to explain yourself. It's more time to have to overcome objections. Your close process for a fresh lead is probably going to be quicker than your close process for an aged lead, because you understand that it just takes that time. It's like, all right, I'm paying for not having to, work this lead 10 times harder just to get the same outcome. If it's new, you just intro, go through it, present, close. If it's old, you gotta build intro, kind of finagle your way around, figure out why it didn't work before, maybe how they fell off the hinges with the last agent they were working with, build some more value, maybe set an appointment, then you go in for the close. It's a very different, you're just spending more time. That's it. And it requires more skill, but doesn't mean that it's innately like just bad if that happens. So this was a quick one. I just wanted to go over why this is so important. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys are interested in buying leads, you can go to leadlabcrm.com. We have $1 to $55 leads, really whatever you're kind of looking for. But the biggest thing is just going to be, if you're an agent who's trying to get to that 40K mark, you can join the 550. If you're an agency owner, you have 3 to 5 agents, you're doing over, $300,000 to $400,000 a month, and all of your agents are doing 30 to 40K. You can apply to partner with us with our Apex package. It does start at 5 to 10 grand a month, plus ad spend. So if that's not in your budget, please don't waste our time. Don't hop on a call. If you are looking for like more of just a partnership and you just want to get leads and hook your team up, we do have a pre-requirement. You will have to buy our leads first, kind of show us that you know how to make money with us. And then from there, we can talk about, adjusting and negotiating some sort of like partnership. That's been going really, really well for our agents that are absolutely crushing it. So as always, make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.